What is going on, YouTube people? Video Cards and Comics here today. Got to talk about the VIP experience at Fanatics Fest. The good, the bad, and the downright ugly of it all. Tickets. So if you just wanted a regular 3-day pass, it ran about $150-ish after fees. A VIP pass, also a 3-day pass, included some bonuses, air quotes, went for about $460-ish bucks. There's about I checked the math, there's about a $310 price difference between a 3-day pass and a VIP pass. And I think that's really the conversation you need to start with, is the difference of, could you have just bought a 3-day pass versus buying the VIP pass. So essentially, the baseline of the VIP pass is $150 because that gets you in the door all 3 days. Now, a lot of people have been commenting, boy, $50 sounds expensive for something like this. To put it in perspective, that's actually cheap when you're talking about a large-scale event like this. New York Comic Con is more expensive than that. That got you entrance to the show. It also got you entrance to all the panels and that sort of stuff. First Take, the Tom Brady panel, the Kevin Durant Ant-Man panel. That was all included in the ticket price. You didn't have to purchase a separate ticket to go into those panel events. So that seems expensive for a card show in air quotes, but keep in mind, you're also getting all the other nonsense out of it. Now, whether you want to use that nonsense or not, that's up to you. But that's built into the price of that ticket, including the talks, the panels, all that sort of stuff. Yes, athlete autographs, photo ops, etc. are going to be fees on top, but basically everything else on the show floor to just walk around and interact with things and go to panels was free. So the $300 upcharge-ish for the VIP package, what did it get you? What I have laid out on my desk here, and then some other things that we'll kind of talk about and what they could have handled better. We got a limited edition PSA magazine. I think these are reselling for about $25-ish on the secondary market. We have a Fanatics Fest pin, a lanyard, a magnet, a Topps Bunt digital pack, or a Marvel one, depending on which one you got in your bag. And then everyone got a random assortment of packs. I know some people got just 2 packs, and then I got a handful of soccer and heritage retail, which I have not opened yet. We'll do that sometime later. So, in addition to this, on paper, what else was pitched? Access to the show all 3 days. First access to the show floor Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. More on that in a minute. Skip the line access to Topps exclusive product drops. In air quotes, it says, or in parentheses, it says, more details to come. We'll talk about that in a minute. $25 fan cash. Once again, we'll talk about that more in a minute. And $25 credit for Fanatics Live, and then the VIP gift bag. And then at the bottom of it, it says, and more to come. I don't remember anything else coming. Maybe I'm forgetting something. Someone in the comments can correct me if I'm wrong. Let's kind of take those in order and kind of where I would like to see them do better. Now, some of these aspects did improve over the weekend. They also did a make good. I don't know if everyone got it or not, but we'll talk about that in a second. So let's just tick these off in order down the list. And I'm reading a list off of a monitor to my left, but I want you to all to really marinate in the contents of the bag itself. So we have to make up about $300 in value here, and I don't know that the swag bag is really doing it off the rip. Access to the show, or first access to the show on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Cool. All right. Early access to the show, pretty common tactic in a VIP badge. My issue here was the communication, and this was really my biggest issue overall with the entire VIP experience. I have more issue with this than the VIP bag, to be quite honest with you. That was the communication around the VIP experience as a whole. I had, up until the day, really the day of the show, the week, maybe a day before the show, no idea what time VIPs got access to the show floor. None whatsoever. It was not clear at all. I pinged them on social. I commented on posts. I was signed up for their emails newsletter. I was looking at the FAQ. I was looking at Instagram stories, the whole 9 yards. Nothing was ever clear. And by ever clear, it never listed a time period, full stop, on what time you actually got into the show as a VIP ticket holder. That is a problem. That should be very clearly laid out and communicated to the badge holder. Some people were planning travel fairly tightly, and you want to take advantage of that extra however much time that it is. Even myself in the morning, I was already there on site. The first day there, I was like, do I have time to grab breakfast or not? I have no idea, because I don't know what time I actually get in the building. Another thing, in regards to the bag itself. So I ordered my badge way ahead of time. When they first dropped, I just went ahead and ordered one. That means they mailed mine to me. So I didn't have to pick it up in person, which is nice because you don't have to wait in any sort of will call line. So cool. But I had the badge, no lanyard, no nothing, which is fine. I got plenty of lanyards laying around. But they had a VIP like booth section line thing at will call, and that's where they gave you your gift bag. I had no idea that existed. I was on Friday morning, there was no signage to tell you that. It just says VIPs enter here. That part was very smooth. Walked right in. They saw my badge. They let me walk right through. They let me walk through the security line. No problem. Cruised right on in. And then they had a section off to the left, roped off. You saw it in my videos, where the VIPs kind of staged before they went in. General admission, they were downstairs in the basement. Very similar to how they do New York Comic Con. So I go over there. I'm standing around. I'm talking to some people. Someone that watches the channel. I'm sorry, I forget your name off the top of my head. Is chatting with me. And he's like, did you get your bag? What did you get in it? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, your bag. You got to get it from the thing. And I was like, are you kidding me? So you had to go over to the desk and then they handed you your bag. I had no idea that was a thing. If that person didn't tell me that, it would have taken me maybe 2 days to figure that out. Also included in the bag, which you don't see here, was your line skip, which we'll get into that now for the Tops event. So that's point number one. The communication around when you actually got in the building and where you needed to go to pick stuff up was very poor. Very poor. That needs to be clearly laid out. Let's talk about skip the line access to Tops exclusive product drops. More details to come. More details never came. The morning of the event, even the night before the event, leading up to the event, I was, tweeting at Fanatics events, asking in their Instagram comments. They were responding to other stuff. Hey, it says more details to come on this. What are the details? No one had any idea. We're all in line Friday morning to get into the show floor. Everyone wants to make a mad dash for the Tops booth for the Big Apple refractors. And nobody has any idea, including the Tops employees, how the skip the line access works. So, like I said, inside your bag, there was a piece of paper. It said one-time use, skip the line access. Seriously? Seriously. One-time use? Let's read that again. It just says skip the line access to Tops exclusive product drops. Doesn't say one time only. The assumption is, and you know what happens when you assume, that you will get to use that each day, not once for the entire weekend. So, Friday, the gates open. Everybody does their fast walk thing, runs to the Tops booth, and it is nearly instant chaos. Because the other thing that was happening was the vendors were poised, ready to get in line. Now, I'll give Tops a little credit here. They immediately separated people into essentially two separate lines. There was a general admission line, which is where they threw the vendors in at, and then there was a VIP line. The problem was there was zero signage and not a lot of people directing you. I was actually in line about 5 people back on one side of the booth. And then on the other side, a second line started forming. Here, I found out after standing there for a couple of minutes, I was in the general admission line, not the VIP line. So I got out of that line and went to the other one and ended up way back in the line. It took me about an hour to get checked out. Now I did hear the general admission line took about 2 hours plus. Basically what they were doing was checking out about 4 people in the VIP line and then 1 person from the general admission line. So the VIP line did move much, much faster. But the communication and the setup around how all that was going to work was very poor. You could tell they did not know what they were doing either. Hence why more details never came. Now, credit where credit's due. And they also, I should mention, they did not collect any papers from anybody. They basically just put all the VIPs in one line and all the general admission in another line. Now, I did hear also that later in the morning, it basically all just morphed into one big line because it just got out of control. Now, credit where credit's due, they adjusted on day 2 and day 3. It was much more organized at the Topps booth on day 2 and day 3. First off, they formed a general admission line and they had someone standing with an end of line thing. They looped the line through the Topps booth so it didn't stretch completely down the main aisleway. They also formed a VIP line that went the opposite direction. They both ended at the same point, and they were collecting the pass. So, as you saw in my day 3 video, what I did on Tuesday was I was not waiting in that line. I waited about an hour or 2 for the VIP line to clear out because I made a note on Friday that they sold out in the early afternoon because they had so much per day. And then I just walked over and there was literally no line in the VIP line. The general admission line was still pretty long, but the VIP line was literally empty on Saturday when I went. I handed my paper in and I immediately checked out. That's how it was supposed to work. So they got it together on day 2. Day 3 worked the exact same way. Kudos to them for improving the system on the fly on Saturday and Sunday. My problem is the lead up to it. And also, why only one line skip? If I am paying you a $300 premium-ish on top of a normal 3-day pass, give me line skip once a day. I don't think that's too much to ask. You should be, most people that I think were in the general admission line that wanted product got it. I am sure there are people way towards the end of the line that maybe didn't, or maybe that walked in or tried to get it halfway through the day. Okay, you made your bed, you sleep in it if you're trying to get exclusive drop product at 1 o'clock in the afternoon when the show floor has been open for 3 hours. Give the VIPs a line skip and also explain the details and actually figure out how you're running the booth prior to the show floor opening. That would have made things much, much better. $25 fan cash, $25 to Fanatics credit. So fan cash is basically a gift card for Fanatics, essentially. Now, on Saturday, and I would be curious, anyone else that attended this show that was a VIP, either did you get this email or check your Fanatics account? I got an email on Saturday morning. It said, basically something of VIPs, here's a treat on us, $100 in fan cash. Now, in classic fashion, it said in that email, more details will follow. This will be sent to your email address that your, either Fanatics account or what the tickets were registered under. And I never got a follow-up email. All day Saturday goes on. I was like, there's only one more day of the show left. Because the email also kind of implied that it might have to have been spent there. So all day Saturday goes by. All day Sunday goes by. I never get the email. Sunday midday, before I was getting ready to leave the show floor, I log into my actual Fanatics account, and it was just sitting there. I just had an extra $100 in Fanatics fan cash, whatever they call it, in my account. So I guess my question to VIPs that attended, A, did you get the email? And then B, if you did or didn't, go check your Fanatics account to see if you have an extra $100 in fan cash in there, because you might. I don't know if every single person got this or if I was randomly selected. And before anyone starts claiming I got the influencer perks, I have two different email addresses that I use, a personal one and a public facing one. My personal one is the one that I bought the tickets through, and they have no idea who I am. I can guarantee you that. So if that's the case, that was a nice little makeup, but I don't know that everybody got that. So now you're talking about I got another $100. I got $125 basically, including the original 25 in basically Fanatics gift cards, which you could use to buy apparel, or I could use to buy boxes, because they sell boxes on their website. So I could use that to take $125 off a composite box or a chrome basketball box or whatever I want to use it on. I now have that sitting over there to use. So, okay, that's not too shabby. VIP gift bag. Okay, this stuff is whatever. If you want to level this thing up in the future, make Fanatics Fest exclusive packs. Now, they did have Fanatics Fest exclusive packs. They were giving them out if you tagged yourself in a selfie or some other nonsense. There were numbered cards in it, but they were mostly just kind of plain Jane, nothing fancy. Instead of giving us random retail wax, just make up like you do for the National, for Rapper Redemption packs, and give each VIP bag holder, I don't know, 4 packs, 5 packs, whatever it is that you need to do, throw them in there and just treat them exactly like you do the National packs, but stamp them Fanatics Fest exclusive. That seems like a pretty simple fix. This seems like, oh boy, we need to throw something else in there, so they just grab random packs that they had laying around. I don't know. So overall, I was glad to see them improve things as the weekend went on. The fact that they radically shifted how the line skip thing worked on Saturday and Sunday was great. The way that it worked was exactly how I expected it to work on Saturday and Sunday, not so much on Friday. So props to them for that. Like I said, I saved on Saturday when I cashed that thing in. I walked right up and bought it. I saved an hour to 2 hours plus of my time. So I don't know how you put a value on that. On Friday, that was not the case. It was a mess. On the packs, come up with exclusive ones, because then that actually adds value to the bag without really increasing your cost, because we all know what's going to happen. If this is 5 Fanatics Fest exclusive VIP packs, basically think National Rapper Redemption packs. They don't have to be anything crazier than that. Maybe they're a little bit better. Who knows? They could just be basically the same thing as that. Now, you know what's going to happen. The secondary market's going to go crazy for these. So now, all of a sudden, you actually have some value in the bag without increasing Fanatics costs, other than having to print a special set, but you're charging me an arm and a leg extra for the VIP pass. My biggest gripe by far is not the bag and the contents of the bag. It was the communication leading up to the event. Not knowing what time I got in the building as a VIP holder up into and including the day of the event is inexcusable. I should know exactly what time we get in. Now, it ended up being 15 minutes before the show floor opened. They basically let us in about 15 minutes early each day. So on Friday, we got in about 9:15. On Saturday and Sunday, we got in about 9:45 because the show floor opened a little earlier on Friday than Saturday and Sunday because they wanted a crowd in there for first take. Same thing with the skip the line access. Don't put more details to come and not have any more details to come. Like that. People read that and they expect more information to follow. So those would be my couple big improvements. Give us clear information on when we can enter the building. How much earlier do we get access? I would also like to see that increase to 30 minutes, not 15 minutes, if I'm being honest. Fix this. Put Fanatics exclusive VIP packs in there. Make it just like the National Rapper Redemption packs. You're good. The rest of the bag, honestly, could be as is if you just fix that aspect of it. I'm sure some people out there will complain and say that this whole thing needs revamped. Listen, I'm not expecting gold bars and silver-plated coins in here, but at least throw me a couple legitimate packs. The skip the line thing, they figured that out as the week went on. My gripe there is make it work every single day. If I'm giving you a $300 premium for the badge, at least treat me like that when I'm in the show floor. I know for New York Comic Con, they don't limit you on your line skip privileges. Now, the other thing I don't know, and once again, someone could comment down below, if you got autographs, did you get VIP line skip access for that? I think you might have, but I don't have any details on that. It's not on the initial thing from that I screenshotted from when I bought my ticket, and they pulled it off the website since the show's over, so I can't go back and look. So that, and I'd be curious if anyone had a VIP badge and did autographs or photo ops, was there any benefit there? Because if there was some benefit there, that would be good as well. I know for New York Comic Con, they have a separate line if you're a VIP badge holder, and it typically goes much, much faster. And I thought I heard them announce for when I was walking past that area, anyone that has a VIP badge, please come over here. So I think you also got some line skip privileges for autographs as well. I shouldn't say line skip privileges, but basically they were ushering you through first before they went to the general admission folks. Like I said, I could be a little bit wrong on that, but clear communication. Let us line skip each day at the Topps booth. Replace the packs with something a little bit juicier. And I think you're actually pretty okay. Like I said, my biggest frustration point was the unknowns walking into the show. And I'm someone that is paying attention to this stuff on a daily basis fairly closely. Imagine being like a semi-casual and you're like, oh yeah, I'll buy the VIP badge to go to that show. More exclusive product drops would be awesome. You could have done pretty decently well if you flip the Topps Chrome boxes on eBay. They're going for about double. They retailed for $300. They're selling for $600. People were immediately cashing people out on the show. You basically could have took your hobby box and your blaster, which ran about $375, $380-ish after tax, and immediately sold it for like anywhere between $500 and $600 if you wanted to. You could get more if you want to deal with the eBay stuff, but if you just wanted immediately cashed out, you basically could have made about $100 to $150 a day if you were willing to wait in the line or use your line skip or whatever the case might be. So you can very quickly earn your money back a little bit there if you were willing to deal with the line nonsense and you got your one free pass that, like I said, worked on day 2 and day 3. So I'm going to give them a D+ on the initial experience with the VIP bag. But like I said, one thing I was happy to see is them adjusting on the fly a little bit on day 2 and day 3, specifically with the line skip, and throwing in another $100 in fan cash. But like I said, I don't know if everyone got that or not. I know I did. So cool. That made me feel a little bit better. You're never going to get full value out of it, but you should get for paying the premium, because it's hard to put a price on time. How much was me not having to wait in line for an hour and a half on Saturday worth to me? And each individual is going to be different on that one. So that's my take on the whole air quote VIP experience from this show. Would I buy one next year? I'll have to think about that. Probably yes, but it's not an instant buy for me for sure. I'm going to want to see some cleaner details when it drops. And I would like to see more exclusive products as well. My total vibe with this show is they really rushed into this and were throwing things together at the last minute. And I said I expected some hiccups, and these were the types of hiccups that I expected, and boy, were they there. But they're easy to fix. These are easily fixable things for future shows. The core foundation of the show was really good. This stuff on the fringes kind of sucked. It's a bad first taste for a lot of people, for sure. You probably burned some people that probably either might not come back or at least might not buy a VIP ticket again. So if you attended the show and were a VIP pass holder, curious for your thoughts and comments down below. From an outsider looking in, curious for your thoughts as well. All I got for you, boys and girls. Catch you on the next one. Peace.